let's take a look at our top selections.
Well, hi, everyone. It's closing weekend of the Santa Anita Fall Meet, Saturday and Sunday, closing weekend of the autumn meet at Santa Anita. Del Mar opens next Saturday, October 31st, opening day of the Del Mar Fall Meet. Some good grass racing to look forward to this fall at Del Mar. But we are focusing for now on Santa Anita, closing weekend. And the Saturday card came up a little bit light. Southern California is struggling with a horse population problem right now. And 6 of the 10 races on Saturday attracted 6 runners or fewer, 6 entrants or fewer. So I guess the grade 3 Senator Ken Maddy with 7 runners probably qualifies as a pretty deep field. There is the field. It might have been a bigger field, except that we ran the California distaff 2 weeks ago. California bred fillies and mares also going 5.5 furlongs on grass. And I'm always surprised when 2 races that draw from similar horse populations are jammed so close together. That race was won by Just Grazed Me. Just Grazed Me would have been a contender in the Ken Maddy, but I think coming back in 2 weeks is probably a little bit too much to ask. At any rate, you would have liked to have seen a little bit more than 2 weeks between the Cal Distaff and the Ken Maddy, but we don't have it. Instead, we have a field of 7. And that's, like I said, it qualifies as a pretty deep field. One of the favorites is down on the inside, JoJo Air. The other favorite is number 5, Magic at Midnight. And we'll be talking about those 2 fillies as we get through this segment. 5.5 furlongs on grass. It's a grade 3, and both JoJo Air and Magic at Midnight are seeking their first graded stakes victory. Now, JoJo Air is arguably the most accomplished filly in the field. She was purchased as a yearling for $325,000. She's a daughter of Scat Daddy. I only bring up her purchase price because there is a little bit of a comparison to Magic at Midnight, who was considerably less expensive. But JoJo Air, daughter of Scat Daddy, she has won 4 out of 12. She completely misfired last time out at Pimlico. It was a race run on a bog, a yielding turf course, and that provided JoJo Air with a built-in excuse. But the last time that JoJo Air raced on firm turf, well, it was at Del Mar this summer in the Daisy Cutter Handicap. Let's take a peek at the stretch run of the Daisy Cutter, and that's JoJo Air angling to the outside. She had an absolutely perfect trip, saving ground 3rd or 4th under Flavian Pratt. Swung to the outside, opened up, looked like she's going to win clear, but the runner-up actually made her work for it, made JoJo Air work for it. That was Lighthouse finishing 2nd, more than 3 lengths clear of 3rd. And who was Lighthouse? Well, all she did after this race was run back in a $300,000, I think a $360,000 stakes race at Kentucky Downs, and she won that. Lighthouse did, thereby validating the form, the Daisy Cutter form of JoJo Air. JoJo Air, as I said, she subsequently misfired on a yielding turf course at Pimlico, but she's back in California. She arrived on Monday. Flavian Pratt is back aboard, and she has enough tactical speed to be forwardly placed. Flavian Pratt is riding as well as he ever does, and she should get a trip similar to the one that produced her Daisy Cutter victory in summer at Del Mar. However, the horse to catch in the Ken Maddy is the speed of the field, and her name is Magic at Midnight. And whereas JoJo Air cost $325,000 as a yearling, well, Magic at Midnight cost only $30,000. That was the amount that trainer Mark Glatt and the Moran family dropped on a claim first time out in summer 2019. They claimed the first-time starter, Magic at Midnight, for $30,000 based on looks and pedigree. She's a daughter of Midnight Loot, produced by a good, solid allowance caliber mare named Magical Band. And Magic at Midnight won by 13 lengths the race from which she was claimed. Immediately a pretty good purchase. She would come back and win her next start and a start allowance, and then she was off for nearly a year. So trainer Mark Glatt brought her back in a little turf sprint down at Del Mar, and Magic at Midnight picked up right where she left off. This is August 14th at Del Mar in an allowance turf sprint, and Magic at Midnight opened up. Look how big she is. This is a big, strapping filly, daughter of Midnight Loot. she's twice as big as anybody else in the field. She went fast on the front end. She wired the field and she was gone. Now, Glatt wheeled her right back in a dirt race less than 3 weeks later. And Magic at Midnight, she had to work for her victory this time. She went fast up on the front end, 21-4, 44-1, going 6.5 furlongs. Not only is Magic at Midnight fast, she also is game, because they came to her at the head of the lane and Magic at Midnight refused to get beat. She won that race. That was a month and a half ago. Glatt has had plenty of time between starts to freshen up Magic at Midnight, drill her, get her prepared for this race. I think he would have preferred to go in a second level allowance race, but that race did not fill. So instead, she goes in a graded stakes race, and that's going to help her residual value eventually if she pops up and wins this thing. And I think she will. Magic at Midnight is the speed of the field. She has never been headed in 4 starts. Abel Cedillo knows this filly well. Mark Glatt has now trained her for more than a year and a half. She has won all 3 of her starts for Glatt, 4 for 4 altogether. And Magic at Midnight is going to clear the field, and she should be long gone. As far as the remainder in the field, we should at least give a tip of the cap to some of these, including number 2, Biddy Duke. She's a 6-time winner. I suspect that she's not quite as good on grass as she is on dirt, but she's good, a 6-time winner. Number 3, Ann Eddie Surprise. She's a stakes winner coming back from a long layoff. She had a chip removed from is either an ankle or a knee. But anyway, Ann Eddie Surprise, a stakes winner on grass, training very well for her comeback. In fact, trainer Doug O'Neill considered running her 2 weeks ago in the Cal Cup Distaff, but opted for this spot instead. She is ready to roll first start back. And by the way, the Doug O'Neill stable, which had a little bit of a drought in early autumn, has since seen a revival, and they entered the week having won with 5 of their last 15 starters. So, and Eddie Surprise, a contender first start back. Laker Ball, I'm not sure what she's doing in this race. She's a Doug O'Neill trainee, and she's not really a sprinter. Maybe she's in there just to get a prep race for a longer race down the road. We talked about Magic at Midnight. Number 6, Aqua Sea Form Shame. Her sprint form is very good, and she scares me a little bit. I don't think she's good enough, but I'm not sure about that. 3 grass sprints, 2 wins and a second. And then finally Z-Drop, who seems like a little bit of an outsider, but when it's a Phil D'Amato trained turf sprinter, you always have to take a second look. So that's a quick peek at the Kin Maddy. I want to draw your attention real quickly to the race that is following the Kin Maddy. It's race number 9. It's a 6.5 furlong dirt race for 2-year-old maidens. And I only bring it up because the highly regarded $1 million colt North Pole makes the second start of his career for trainer Simon Callahan. Flavian Pratt will be riding. And North Pole, remember the name. Expectations are extremely high for this colt. He could be the real deal. He's going to have to be on Saturday because he faces a very promising Bob Baffert trainee down on the inside, number 1 Classier, whose workouts, at least on video, are very impressive. He's buried on the rail, going 6.5 first time out. I think that North Pole has the advantage, but Classier has been showing much ability in morning workouts. That's race number 9. Race number 8 is the grade 3 Senator Kin Maddy. If you had to pick one horse to bet on all day long on Saturday at Santa Anita, I think it would be Magic at Midnight. Wire to wire, race number 8. It's the Kin Maddy, Saturday at Santa Anita.